Hello, hello. Welcome back. My name is Anna Hendricks, spiritual guide, Akashic Soul Channel, and the host of the Soul Driven podcast, which is a double weekly, twice weekly podcast where we explore living the intersection of living a soulful and spiritual life in a driven and ambitious world. It's been over 2 years. You would think that I could do better at that, but this is what happens. I get excited and then I can't speak. And if you have tuned into any of my podcasts, then you are quite used to my nerdisms. Either way, welcome and thank you so much for being here today. Before we dive into today's topic, I just wanted to share with you that the July Akashic Toolkit is available for purchase, $9. What you get in this beautiful toolkit is the Akashic Monthly Forecast, which is a channeled message for the month. You get this beautiful workbook that is full of resources, tools, journaling prompts, whole 9 yards to really help you to anchor into the theme of the month. And then a wonderful and very powerful monthly Akashic activation with music. It's really just going to help you ground, recenter, really connect in with this month's theme, which is connecting with yourself, releasing energy, and so much more. So this is a beautiful, supportive, I wanted to say 3 words at one time in that moment. It's a beautiful, supportive resource that you can return to again and again and again throughout the month. So be sure to check that out. I will put the link for that and anything else I talk about today in the comments below. All right. So I had this really weird thing happen and I really wanted to create a podcast, create a video. It was like, I need to talk about this. So today we're going to talk about simplicity, the importance of living simply, of purging things from our life, of not living in excess, of, just the benefits of doing this. And right off the bat, I want to share that this is not about shame. This is not about judgment. So regardless of where you're at on this, on the line between being someone who keeps all the things and then someone who throws away all the things, this is not about shame or judgment. Okay. It's a discussion. And I think it's a really important one. And I want to encourage you and invite you to listen to this message openly, to think about it for yourself. Think about where it, might resonate for you, perhaps which areas of your life it needs to be applied to. And if not, so be it. Totally cool. So what happened was my partner really enjoys going to garage sales. He is such a huge fan, and it really cracks me up because so many of those like stereotypical male female things are really flipped in our relationship. This would be one. He loves going shopping and I'm like, nope. But anyway, he was gone on Saturday for a while, and I was like, well, where the heck were you when he got back? And it was so funny because he was like carrying this thing that he was kind of like hiding / putting behind. And he was like, so I went to this estate sale. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did you get? And he like showed me all these things. And I was just like, oh gosh. And anyway, he was like, but I forgot this one thing. I want to go back and get it tomorrow. And so this home was within our neighborhood, and we go on walks every Sunday morning. It's just part of our routine. So Sunday, when we were coming back from our walk, we walked down to this home and walked in for this estate sale. And I don't know if you've ever been to an estate sale before. I had not, but it was so weird. It was spooky to walk into someone's house. There were all of these, there were several people who were managing it. And I mean, like, this person's stuff was just like strewn out all over the bed, all over the counters, all over everything. And there were like pictures of like this person's family. There was like walking in the closet was a real trip because so many of the clothes were still hung up. And I was just thinking like, this person, it's almost like this person could have just been here, yesterday. And I don't know why this person had an estate sale. I don't know if it was like because of debt or like the family. I don't know any of those details, but it was surreal to me in a very, very weird way. And all I could think is, my work with the spiritual, I have worked with a lot of people who've passed over. I work with clients who have people who've passed over. I understand the spiritual very well. And to really be in this person's house and their stuff is everywhere, yet they are not there, was just like such a trip. And again, I don't know if you have done this. If you haven't, I recommend checking one out just because, I'm all for experiences. And this just really put things in perspective for me because I'm walking through and I'm seeing this person's stuff and I'm just reminded like we take nothing with us, nothing. Not our bodies, not our stuff, not our home, not all of the things that we thought were really important to us that we needed in life. We don't take any of this crap with us. All that goes is our spirit, and our spirit is, never ending, forever living. So in that moment, and I was like opening up this gorgeous vintage, like chest type boudoir thing. And I was just thinking like, man, I've got to get rid of a lot of my stuff. And mind you, I am someone who loves purging. Okay. I purge at least twice a year whenever the weather starts to change, going into fall, coming into spring, or summer. Like I'm a big fan of purging. I'm a really big fan of keeping few things on the walls or few things in my home. People always come to my homes, and it's always been this case. And they're just like, wow, there's so much space here. Like there's not a lot of stuff. And it's just like, no, I'm a big fan of cleaning. I like my things to be clean, but I like energy to be moving in my space. I don't like having a lot of knickknacks, a lot of stuff. And I'm also kind of that way with my wardrobe, but after seeing this person's house, it was just like, whoa. So I really felt inspired to talk about this because I feel like this year, 2022, is a big year for simplifying our life, for changing how, like, going through and really thinking through the things that we have in our life, really determining what it is we want to keep and what we don't, like what is serving us and what is not, and this is people, places, things. This could be any number of any of that, right? But I know that within myself, simplicity has been such a gift. And just another example here, I lived in Vietnam for a year. And when I left for this trip, it was a one-way ticket, and I was supposed to like go down to Indonesia, and then I was going to go up into China, and I was going to hit up India. Like I wasn't coming home for a long time, but I got very, very sick. And I ended up being like pretty much in one place for about a year before I came home, before I called it quits and said, okay, I got to go home and get better. But I lived out of one suitcase of stuff for that entire year. And mind you, as much of a minimalist as I am, I like my shoes. I like my products. Okay. I'm a big, big fan. But living out of one suitcase for an entire year really taught me, again, it was like, you just don't need all that stuff. And even though I loved to purge before, and even though I was minimalist before, once I came back from Vietnam, it was like a whole different ball game. I really enjoyed the space. I really enjoyed the light. I really enjoyed seeing the natural elements of the places where I live, which I love older homes. And so I love, like wooden floors, and I love older antique furniture and things with history and design. And I'm kind of getting lost here, but my point just being that my love of simplicity has added so much to my life. And I think that We are all being called into this right now. And I think we're being called into this because, as the world is shifting and changing and growing around us, as it's becoming more and more chaotic, we are being called to become more and more simple so that we can return to the things that are most important to us, so that we can remove the things that aren't necessary. Here in America, there's such consumerism is like our favorite thing, and it's nauseating. When I lived in New York, I felt like New York was just a glorified shopping center. I love the fact that I could go listen to jazz at any time of the day or go to eat in an amazing restaurant, like any kind of freaking food I could possibly dream of. But the shopping was just, it was not great. And this love of like, buy, like, is this what we're living for? And then to walk into someone's home and they have died and all of their stuff is everywhere. That was huge, such a huge moment for me. So why? Let's talk about a couple of reasons why it's good to live in simplicity. So first of all, it's easier to make decisions, right? And I think that like, if you're going to the grocery store to buy cereal, it's very obvious, right? Unless you have like one specific brand that you want, looking at all of those choices is just, it's an overwhelm. Same thing when we go to our closet to get ready in the morning, right? Overwhelmed. We've got so many choices. Shoes, overwhelmed, so many choices. Oh my gosh. Think about if you only kept the things you really loved. What is it? Marie Kondo, who's like, don't keep anything that doesn't bring you joy. When I go through my closets, I always think, would I buy this today? And if I wouldn't, then it's time to move it along. All right. Even if I like it, if I wouldn't buy it at that point in time, time to go, time to get rid of it. But this also comes into like situations about our life, situations about our work, situations about dating. Like freaking, I could not even imagine dating in today's day and age. Like it's such a swipe right society. You're thinking you got all of these options when the truth is like maybe 1 out of 500 is really going to be a great connection for you. And that's not belittling the other 499 people. It's just that, like finding someone you truly can connect with, it's not that easy. And when you've got all these choices, it just like further complicates things. Oh my gosh. So it's easier to make decisions. Number 2, less stress, right? When we don't have to make that many decisions. Sometimes when we go grocery shopping, I just think, I look at all my food in my cabinets and I think, I'm not really going to get anything this week because I have too many options and I have a million things that I can cook here. I can be creative and I'm not doing that. I'm just buying more stuff so that it's easier to cook that stuff instead of bringing out the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Less stress. We don't need to be adding in. When my partner arrived with more stuff from this estate sale, it was just like, oh, it's a conflict. Okay, it's a thing we got. 3, energy moves more easily throughout your home and your life. This is a big one for me. I love sunshine. I love natural elements. I love beautiful colors and plants. But honestly, other than that, like, I don't like having little rinky dink things to move when I'm cleaning. Like, I like it to be simple. And it's amazing how comfortable you can feel in a room when it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. When I go to people's places, I went to this house pretty recently and super cool. I couldn't even imagine how she decorated it. Very cool. But I couldn't live in it. Visiting it was amazing. I love looking at all the little things, but if I lived there, I'd be like, just too much for me. And we all have our own aesthetic. So again, no shame, no judgment, do you? But nonetheless, energy moves when there's space for it to move, okay? Number 4, less bills, less worry. When we have less stuff, we are spending less money. We have less things to make payments on, and we are worrying less. And considering the economic, the world climate, the things that are going on right now. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like every time I get online, I hear about the economy tanking, and the economy hasn't tanked yet. The point is, until the economy tanks, we don't know what's going to happen. But the bottom line is that if we now simplify our stuff, simplify our lives, simplify what we're paying for, all the better, no matter what happens. And finally, less is more. I'm telling you, spending that year in Vietnam with one suitcase full of clothing, shoes, whole 9 yards, it made it so easy to go places because I had a very finite amount of things that I could wear. And I got super creative with these very finite amount of things that I could wear. And because I was living in Vietnam and I am a Spanish curvy girl, like there wasn't really any me going out and buying more clothing and stuff. That just wasn't a thing. The sizes were just, they didn't work for me. Okay. But I got really creative and I ended up having a lot of fun with it. And I think that's always been the case. You know, like I've noticed within my business, and this is my third business that I'm growing. When I have less, I am more creative. I create more. And I think that that's really just the bottom line. Less is more. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying like you shouldn't make money or you shouldn't, like, it's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about money. I'm talking about stuff. I'm talking about an over proliferation of decisions and people and things. And do we need it all? Do your kids need to play every sport underneath the sun? Do they need to, you know what I mean? Like a lot of questions here. So some of the ways in which you can practice simplicity. Number one, clean out your home. I'm telling you, walk around your home. Just ask yourself this question. Do I love this thing still? Does this bring me joy? Go with the Marie Kondo if you want. Whatever the case may be. Joy is a weird one for me. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one for me. I'm more of like an excited person. Like, does this excite me? Right. But I don't know that, like, my excitement doesn't always make the best decisions. So, so I think, would I buy this today or do I love this thing? Because sometimes I wouldn't buy it, but I love it. And so I'm not going to get rid of it. Right. I'm not really talking about clothes because clothes are different. I'm talking about like little keepsakes or things of that nature, things that have been given to me perhaps, because I am definitely sentimental, very sentimental, but I'm particular about my sentimentality. Clean out your home, go through stuff, pull open drawers, look at shelving, you know, like, do you need all the plants that you have in your home? If you do, cool. Do you need all the books? Do you need all the things, all the stuff, all the knickknacks, all the decor and decoration? Just a question, okay? To clean out your closet. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you. I love doing this so much. And then I get to go and take it and donate it and give it to folks who might need it, who might use it, because I wear some cute stuff. But if I'm not using it, then I don't want it taking up space in my closet. 3, make a list of all the things that need to be done in your home or in your personal life and start knocking them out. So we can get really, really overwhelmed, and simplicity is becoming aware of all of those things that we're overwhelmed by. So start a list on your phone. I'm really a big fan of this. Like, I have lists on lists on lists in my phone, but have like a list of the things that you need to do. Okay. Long-term, short-term, whatever the case may be, and just start adding them in when they come. Or you can sit down and like set a timer for like 10 minutes and like pump out as much as you possibly can, just brain dump if there's a lot of things. And if you're feeling really overwhelmed, this will actually be an amazing exercise to do. But once you get it out all on paper, all on your phone, whatever the case may be, then you can go in and start like tackling things one at a time. And really just like simplifying how you go about doing those things for yourself. And finally, like, clean up, simplify your life, you know, simplify how many times you go out to eat, simplify how many friends you hang out with, how many things you do. Like, this is really a return to quality instead of quantity. And again, no shame, no judgment. You do what's best for you. It's going to be different for each and every one of us. But simplicity is amazing. And there was a time in my life where I just wanted as many friends as I could possibly have. Like, I didn't care that I was getting pulled in 50 million different directions, that my energy was like constantly all over the place. You know, I was young, I was all about it. I didn't really have anything serious, you know, to worry about or think about. Those days are long, long gone. I like having a simple life. And I am very particular about the people that I spend my time with because it's important. I'm very particular about who I'm around because they influence me. I'm very particular about how I spend my energy, and I like to simplify. So think about that for yourself. Where can you simplify? You know what I mean? What are your goals with that? What are the things that make you feel really good? Kind of like walking around your home and being like, do I love this? You know, do that with every little area of your life. You know, do I really love this person? Or am I just hanging out with them because I have to? Or they're in my PTA, or they're like, you know, my partner's friend's wife, and I don't really like her, but I'm nice. I'm not saying totally get rid of them. I'm not saying cut people out of your life. I'm just saying evaluate. It's all very, very useful information. All right. This is all I have for you today. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear how simplifying your life, I don't know, that didn't come out well. So, do you do this? Is this important to you? Do you need to do this? If so, what areas of your life do you think you need to simplify? Sending you so much love. Thank you for joining me for another Soul Talk, and I will see you again soon.